So I've got two microscope slides here. This one here is a fairly cheap one that I bought yeah, for in a pack together with approximately 100 other slides. And this one over here is fairly expensive. Both of them show the cross section of the stem of a sunflower. So it says here some CS stands for cross section. And however, the quality is quite a bit different. You can already see from the outside that there's not only the size is different, but also the stained intensity, the color intensity is different. So let's put them under the microscope and let's compare a little bit on how those slides differ in their quality. I'm going to start with the cheap one first, with this one where the stem is quite small here. So let's have a look. So using now my 10 times objective, it looks quite okay, I would say at first sight. However, if you just scan the slide a little bit more, you're going to notice, yeah, look at this. This is some dirt in here, some dust fibers, and over here where there is no specimen, all of those little dots that you see here, these are all that's all dust and dirt. But overall, yeah, it looks yeah, a little bit torn also on the side here. Let's go up a little bit with the magnification yet further. So you can see that over here also some cells here broke loose during the sectioning, during the cutting process. The outside here was also a little bit damaged. Maybe not so much over here, but there are some places where indeed, yeah, over here, for example, the stem has been a little bit torn apart. But otherwise it looks, yeah, okay-ish. But if you actually compare it then to the more expensive slide, this is then where some of the real differences start to appear. So I'm going to show you that. Yeah, same magnification here. That is the sunflower stem, yeah, of the slightly more expensive slide, and it does look a little bit better. And it looks also more contrasty. Look, the vascular tissue here, which transports water and also nutrients up and down the plant, looks actually much nicer. This is a much cleaner slide. And look also here, the sides here that were a little bit torn in the cheaper specimen. Here there might be a little bit of a damage, but overall, look, it's pretty intact. What is now the big difference? Why does it look so different? There's actually one main difference, and that is that this the cross section of this stem here is slightly thicker than the other one. So essentially, you're seeing, yeah, it gives you a stronger image as well, because simply the cells are actually were cut much thicker. So the cell walls are more pronounced, and you can also see that some of the cells appear to be stained on the inside while others are white. This is because the cells that are bluish, they are actually still more intact. The white ones have been cut open, and in the cheaper slide, all of the cells were cut open because the cross section was simply too thin. Yeah. So, I mean, I personally think there's no real reason why you're cutting it so thin, because if you cut it a little bit thicker, like in this slide over here, it looks just much better. There's absolutely no cost saving, and I think it's also easier to prepare, because the thinner that you make the cut, the more fragile it is. Yeah, but I think, look, this looks quite nice, and here on the side everything is pretty much intact. Now let's have a look. I'm going to go down again a little bit with the yeah, magnification here. So, and yeah, let's have a look here, and yeah, still on the side here there is still a little bit of dust and dirt visible. Okay, there's still a little bit, yeah, but here, after all, it still looks much cleaner. Yeah, and actually quite pretty, I have to say. Let's compare it again to the cheaper slide. Yeah, that's same brightness. And that's again the cheaper slide. You see, it's just much thinner. There's simply not as much substance there. And then, of course, look at this here. Yeah, all of the dust and the dirt here, which is it's more here, right? So I just wanted to show this to you. So there is a difference in slide quality, obviously, and yeah. Just wanted to share this with you so that in the future, if you're looking at a microscope slide, then you can maybe assess a little bit yourself much better if you're looking at a slide that's better, or one that's maybe has not been prepared quite as well. From my side, that's all I would like to share with you today. Happy microbe hunting. Hope to see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.